Okay, good day, everybody. So today we are looking at topic five, modeling and analyzing requirements. All right. So again, I'm sure all of you have read the notes. I'm taking you through important points. Yeah. As usual, you should know this by now. The learning outcome of our course. This is just a recap. I'm going to look at into detail on the topics today. Okay, we are looking at model requirements today. So there are a few important points that you need to understand, especially what are data models. And you should be able to show relationships among the systems involved in the one that you are going to do. Okay, there is also some functional model as well, and also a behavioral model. So a functional model is a description of the functions that enable the transformation of the system objects, whereas the behavioral model is the manner in which the software responds to events from the outside world. Okay, how does it behave? Yeah. Now, requirement error. There are errors that need to be minimized of, or if possible, they should not exist in the first place. Yeah. Error of omission is about domain expert easily forget to convey domain knowledge, okay, to the people who um, create the system. Okay, this is also something that we have discussed earlier, where a person who has been doing this for many times, a certain work, and he or she tends to forget some of the steps, forget to inform us some of the steps because it is basically automatic for them already. All right, that's error of omission. And then there is also the error of clarity and ambiguity. This is primarily because of the natural languages, how you explain to people in a layman's term. Okay, and then there is also errors of speed and capacity. So these occur due to conflicting understanding of different information to the stakeholders. Remember, stakeholders here, not just one um organization or one type. There could be more than one stakeholders involved in the project. So requirement analysis is necessary because it bridges the gap between elicitation and the requirement specification. Yeah, you have the requirement elicitation, and then you have the requirement specification. You need to have one step in the between, which is the analysis requirement. Yeah. So what is it? Analysis requirement is the process of which customer or stakeholder needs to understand the documented form. Yeah. Example one: the system shall allow user to withdraw cash. Stakeholder does not know what does this mean, right? Because the programming is being done by you, and you are going to prepare the system to produce the behavioral of the system to withdraw cash for the user, right? So not enough information for the stakeholder or the customer. Example number two: a sales item name and other attributes will be stored in a hash table and updated each time any attribute changes. So how? You need to explain this to your stakeholder as well. So this is what we say requirement analysis, to make the stakeholder able to understand your definitions or acronyms or any computer jargons that involve in your work. Okay, and this process is an ongoing process, repetitive. Yeah, it is an iterative aspect of elicitation, analysis, and negotiation. Again, I've mentioned to you this many times in our earlier lecture, that you need to talk and discuss with your stakeholder number of times, many times, yeah, to make sure that everyone understand. Just imagine one project takes about 6 months to 1.5 years, for example. So during those period, things changes, something new comes up, and then they want to have changes. Yeah. So all of this must be discussed together to see whether you need to do it or not. So this is what we say in this the stage of requirement analysis is always an iterative process. Now, the aim of requirement analysis is to discover problems with the system requirement, especially incompleteness and inconsistency. Yeah, some analysis is interleaved with requirement elicitation, as problems are sometimes obvious as soon as requirement is expressed. This is easy because as soon as you do something, you identify the problem. It is much more challengeable. It is much more challenging. Sorry, to have some errors occur later in the stage. So this is where you need to understand the system. Why does this happen? Yeah. So those are the things that you need to analyze in the requirement analysis stage. So the process is again something that look like this. Yeah. You have the necessity checking, and it is always completeness checking and the feasibility checking. And what are the output of this? The output of necessity checking is unnecessary requirement. Sometimes the requirement does not need to be there. Okay. And then the outcome of completeness of checking is the incomplete requirement. And then the feasibility checking is the feasible requirement. So these are all in detail in this slides. Yeah. So the consistency and incompleteness checking, the requirement are cross-checked for consistency and completeness. Consistency means that no requirement should be contradictory. Completeness means that no service or constraint which are needed have been missed out. So we must make sure that it's complete. Yeah. And usually we have the checklist, what we call the analysis checklist. Okay, there is a video on this which I've given to you. Have a look at this. Yeah. So this is what we are discussing for today, analysis requirement, and the checklist is very helpful in order for us as developer uh, not to miss something important. Okay, so this is what the analysis checklist should look like. Yeah. And also there are some analysis technique as well which we are going to cover in our later lecture. Okay, everybody have a look at the notes, and we will going to discuss this in our forum.